Patrick Bet David reveals an untold story about the great Barron Trump. Guys, this is going to be a good clip. I think you're going to like it. Barron Trump is a very fascinating figure, to say the least. He's very quiet and reserved, generally speaking, but, you know, there's often a different story behind closed doors. So we're going to get right into it. It's going to be fun, but first, do me a huge favor. Like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you all this great, hard-hitting content. As always, Patriots, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
Wow. I get an email saying Barron Trump wants to have dinner with you because he follows the content. I'm like, okay, Sam, can you verify this? Sam makes a few phone calls, says, no, it's real. That's the day we did the podcast with Stephen A. Smith. So I said, I won't be able to make it because we're doing dinner. They asked 7 o'clock. They said they changed. They're willing to do 8:30. I said, okay. We finished with Stephen A. Me, you, and Tom. We head up there. Tom meets us there. Me and you drive up there, right? Yep. With the top down and your hair is all messed up.
My hair is like a crazy person.
We get there and Barron comes out and we go sit down and have dinner with Barron. Now you got to realize I'm so curious who this kid is, right? He just turned 18 years old, March 20th. And so you're watching him. So what are you going to be doing? You're going to go to school. You're going to do this. And he's kind of going through the whole process, what he's not going to be doing, what he's going to be doing. I've never seen Tom laugh this hard for an hour and a half. Tom is one of those guys that if we go to dinner, no one's going to talk more than Tom. And Tom can go. He's a professional talker, and he's going to give you a lot of history lessons, everything, because he's so well read. He's a modern-day Wikipedia. The living Wikipedia is Tom Ellsworth. Yeah. If Wikipedia goes out of business, we're all safe here. We're good.
Check Tom.
Tom didn't say a single word.
Yep.
Nothing, Jesse. For an hour and a half, and we just watched Barron run dinner with stories, entertainment, everything. What was your experience watching that?
Because mind you, he's 18. You know what I was doing when I was 18? I was in the military. I was acting like a freaking maniac. Witty, smart, hilarious, like he was smart on politics. He's like, everybody's always going to fight. There's left, there's right. I think one of the hardest I laughed is when he goes, look, because all of a sudden the music just comes on loud, right, Jesse? And we're like, what the hell is that? He's like, my freaking dad's the DJ. All you see is the president on his iPad, the lights in his face.
Nothing compares.
Nothing
compares to you. Are we really playing?
And I love it because you look back and it's Donald Trump, the light on his thing, and Barron's like, guys, like I'll be in my room and the house is shaking. Like my dad plays the music loud. But going back to Barron, what a good head on his shoulders, professional. Then at the end, he was like, Vinny, whenever you guys want to come dinner, whenever you want to come, blah, 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 you hit me up. He goes, you know what I like?
Amazing.
Amazing.
One of the stories he told. So I don't know who starts telling the story saying, my dad comes from trailer homes and
it was Bo. Bo was like,
and Kobe and this and that. And everybody's kind of talking about their sob story. Yeah. And then Barron's like, yeah, same here. I mean, I was born in a penthouse of a building all the way at the top. Life was hard. Talk about being fed by a silver spoon. Who would ever eat food with a silver spoon? Mine was gold.
Barron is a very smart young man. That goes without saying. And frankly, he deserves a lot of credit for helping contribute to Trump's win. All right, I think you can make a very reasonable case that Trump would not have made the massive inroads he did with the youth vote as he did if it weren't for Barron and his advisement. A lot of people don't really know about this, but Barron actually was very quietly telling Trump to go on different podcasts. Examples include Aiden Ross, all right, the Full Send podcast with the Nelk Boys. These are podcasts that are largely viewed by very young men who are very impressionable. So it was a very smart move on his part. Brilliant marketer, honestly. I think he might have even told Trump to go on Joe Rogan. Don't quote me on that because I know Trump probably wanted to for a while. Trump, his father, Donald, likely wanted to go anyways, but I don't know, still. The point is, Barron gave him a lot of good advisement. Also, I like how humble the kid is, being able to just sit there and joke about his status of growing up, a very wealthy, privileged environment. I think, honestly, that takes him in. He could be a total snot-nosed brat, taken for granted, but he seems to not be acting that way, given what we're hearing from Patrick and Tom and the rest of them.
That was my question for you, Vinny.
Yeah. You know, it was really interesting. It was, you would think, what was making me laughing was just honest life anecdotes about family. And it was just cracking me up. He was a kid. He wasn't snide. He wasn't telling dirty jokes. He was very, very balanced, talking about getting ready to go to college, talking about where he could make shift colleges if his dad's job changes and things like this. And just going through it, it was cracking me up. And then he was there with a buddy, his friend Bo. They were talking about their little life adventures together and how
Bo broke his bone.
We don't need to go into all the stories, but
no. We're not going to go into the detail, but Bo gets hurt, and he's talking about going through things like that. But I found an incredibly balanced, engaging, very witty, funny guy, and I really came away really liking the guy a lot.
Tough. To me, it was witty,
I was busting up.
Sharp, funny, sarcastic, tough. Not weak, like, hey,
grounded.
They said the other day, it's officially a fair game to come after me.
Good.
I don't care. Good. Do it. I get it. They've gone and done it to every kid. What's the difference? Why should I? It was very interesting the way he handled himself.
And it was very, very interesting to see, because think about it, that he has a head on his shoulders like that. Look at what he has to go through for the rest of his life. Look at what the left and the media and everybody has done to his father, to that name. For the rest of his life, he's, obviously...
And Jen said the best thing.
What?
Jen said, which one of the kids has spent the most time around Trump? It could be him.
I think so.
Because all the other kids spent time around Donald when he was building 40-year-old, 50-year-olds. This is different when you're at this phase. And you're around your dad at this, like at the thick of things. You're living at the White House. It's like a whole different
He's the only
lens.
one that lived in let me ask you from a comedian perspective, because you guys came back, you're like, this guy is hilarious. I was like, stop it. By the way, shout out to Justin Waller, my buddy. It's good to see that he actually buttoned up one of his buttons.
Nice.
Usually it's a lot
there's
lower.
No shirt. There's no shirt.
Jay
Just
Waller.
the vest.
I gotta say, this isn't part of the protocol, but I need to point this out. That is disgusting and classless how a couple of these guys are dressing, right? A couple of them, like Barron, PVD, they look great. They look fine. All right, but Justin over here, really? And believe me, he usually looks a lot worse than that. They're not kidding when they're joking about how he finally has a button up. It's not cool. All right, it's weird, it's tacky, it's hideous, it's immodest. And we ought to be calling this stuff out more, all right? People are going to say, oh, who cares? Let people do whatever they want, as long as they don't hurt you. Nah, that, all right? We need to have standards. That's the problem with America nowadays, all right? I'm going on a bit of a rant here, but nobody has standards anymore. Well, at least he put a shirt on. No, not enough.
And I saw Colby at the Heat game the other day. Great dude.
Colby's a G.
You know the difference between a fake laugh when a boss tells a joke and a real laugh. You're a comedian. We did comedy as well.
Yeah.
Legit funny or
Adam,
fake funny?
Legit to where it's Patrick, Tom. I can't really see Tom. I know he's dying laughing. And then Barron. And you know me. I don't laugh to laugh. I'm piecing it together. And I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
He's funny and ready for this. Quick. There wasn't a second.
Have you met him, Jesse?
I haven't met him, but I've heard some stories. And when this is over, I'm going to tell you one of the funniest Barron Trump stories.
I can't wait.
I cannot tell it here because it's too good. But I'll tell you later.
Really?
It's good.
So, Vinny, who's funnier, Barron Trump or Tom Ellsworth? Two of the funniest guys I know.
Tough.
Oh my God.
You can't put him on the spot like that.
I can't. That's embarrassing, but
I mean, you're talking about a guy that's a professional comedian in Silicon Valley for engineers and
bro, they still talk about him in Silicon Valley. He's the word. They talk about the business.
That is different.
Exactly.
87%. To understand Tom's jokes, you need a minimum of an MBA. If you don't have an MBA, Tom's joke requires, he doesn't do jokes for a bachelor's degree.
Oh, yeah, no.
Let alone people without a degree. Are you kidding me? His jokes are required.
Yes.
Because Tom will tell you after the joke. Like, you're staring at Tom. He's like, you don't get it? I'm like, Tom, I joined the military.
Go to school for 8 years to understand that joke.
You know what's interesting? One of the things Barron said, and Jesse, I want to ask you something. One of the things Barron said was, hey, I'm 18 years old now, so now I can get arrested for things. There's a lot of things that go on. But I know that now the media is going to, that certain outlets in the media are going to take the gloves off and do things. During the Obama administration, that administration was very protective of Sasha Malia. And we've seen things where reporters have indicated, you have no idea. They actually threatened, to pull press corps coverage from a network if some network person at the Milwaukee affiliate, covered or had pictures of the Obama kids. Did you hear that when you were at Fox? Was there a real chokehold being put on the media?
That's good. That's with everybody, but that's with the Bush daughters too, and they probably partied harder than Malia and Sasha. And they were a little bolder. And so, and so, yes, of course. And they were that way for Chelsea as well. And you always have to be like that. You have to be really, really hardcore when it comes to protecting your family in the White House when that kind of press scrutiny is just exacting and could be damaging to the children.
What Jesse said is basically true. Although it is important to point out that Barron Trump, when he was literally 11 years old, was savagely attacked by a comedian on Saturday Night Live who made a stupid joke about him on Twitter, comparing him to a school shooter. You know, basically said he's going to be one in the future or something along those lines. Really disgusting. Now, to her credit, Chelsea Clinton, the daughter of Hillary and Bill Clinton, actually came out and defended him and said, hey, let him be a kid. This is disgusting. So, hey, credit and respect where it's due. That's really cool, Chelsea. With all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, let us know what you liked about the video, comment below, and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon. God bless.